You are listening to the Spacetastic Mysteries podcast. We are in week 13 of Anna Gale Line's latest novel, The Lightyears, involving a Mobile Alliance surgical hospital battling an epidemic at the front lines of the Freedom Alliance Crimson Fleet War. This is episode 13, Hidden Places. If you have not subscribed, do so now, and if you are on YouTube, hit the bell to be notified of new episodes.
All you ever needed to be was the best version of yourself, Jake assured me, running his hand over the back of my head. You have proven that you are capable of greatness. He tilted his head and asked, "Are we officially back to boyfriend-girlfriend status?" "Yes, but," I agreed, putting my hand up, "but I am not ready to get married because I need to see the dynamic among you and the other kids. Marriage means taking on the other 4 children." "I understand." A thought struck me. I wonder if the voice and the person who left me that breakup message are the same person. I don't have a reason to think that because the voice wants my parents and the breakup message wanted me out of your life. However, the voices are the same. I don't know why I didn't figure that out before. It's a computer-generated voice. I know that, but, out of all of the millions, maybe billions, of computer-generated voices, what are the odds they would pick the same one? That is not one I hear a lot. So maybe if we were to track down who created that particular computer-generated voice, then, maybe. Let's get back to you still not wanting to marry me. I tilted my head to the side and asked, "Did I say that?" "You said you were not ready to marry me." I shook my head and insisted, "That is not what I said. I said I was not ready to marry you until I see how the dynamic among you and the kids that are not biologically related to you is going to go." I fiddled with the fringe on the blanket. Decorating a Christmas tree and having dinner with them is not getting to know them. I am concerned that because they are Josh and Adam's children that you might hesitate. I am capable of loving and caring for children who are not my own. I hesitated because I didn't know if you were going to commit to me. Even though I wanted you to and thought we were supposed to be together, I had this nagging feeling that you may never decide to come back to me. Wow, the great Jake Riley had doubts. I have never known you to have doubts when it comes to you and me. To be honest, you were pretty convincing. He took my hand and persisted. No matter how many scars you have, what you had to do in captivity, who you married or how many children are in your care, I am going to marry you because I love you, just as you are. I love you just the way you are too, but the kids, Charlie and Spencer, lost their dad 2 years ago, and I am not sure my nephews remember Adam. It is going to take some time for us to all function as a family, and you don't do patience well. I have waited for 10 years to marry you. Because you were in captivity. If you weren't, I doubt that you would have waited that long. I am pretty sure that you would have hooked up with Ingrid Rosenblum. She was always hanging all over you. And you said that if I didn't marry you soon, that you would find someone who would. Jake wrinkled his brow. Are you sure that was me? I would have never, especially not with her. Yes, I am sure it was you. You said it the day before you were captured. You didn't say you would get involved with Ingrid, but she did follow you everywhere. He wrinkled his brow. I was angry that you wouldn't marry me. I was not thinking when I said that. I didn't think you would believe me. Really? Because you were very convincing that you were done and that you were going to find someone who would commit. You told me I was stringing you along and that I was a commitment phobic. I didn't mean any of that. I had 10 years to think about what I said and what I did. I am sorry. I know it does not make up for what I said, but I am sorry. I am sorry for what I said too, but I think we have both had time to go over this in the last 10 years. Let's just start from here. I agree. No sense in rehashing the past, and I would have never been with anyone else if things with you were fixable, especially Ingrid. Nice to know. After this is done, let's plan some family activities. We honor Josh and Adam on their birthdays, just so you know. I don't want them to forget their biological fathers. I get that. I am sure you did that with Zariah while I was gone. She watched movies of us together every year on your birthday, and the locket around her neck has a picture of you in it. I did that to make sure she did not forget you. We would talk about you all the time. I missed out on so much of her life. You have the opportunity to be her father during the most important time of her life. High school is the most difficult time for a teen, especially when her best friend is in love with her while she is dating someone else. I have taught her to respect herself and others, but you get to teach her how boys should treat her. I am having trouble with the boys dating my daughter at all. I understand she is 14, but in my head, she is still 4. It is going to take me a while to get used to some other man being the center of my daughter's world. I am teaching her to put her goals and dreams before boys because boys will come and go, but her dreams are forever. At least the right ones are. The right man is forever too if she picks the right one. Just then my comm let chimed, followed by Zebby's voice, shaking, "Danny. Danny, are you okay?" Jake and I gave each other a troubled look. I put my thumb to my commlet. "Zebby, I am fine. What is going on?" There has just been a report that a spacecraft carrying you and Jake has exploded, and that you and Jake have been killed. We are on someone's radar, I told Jake. To Zebby, I said with grave deliberation, "We are in the spacecraft we brought here. Outside of me running a high fever, we are fine. The question is who knows we are here." To Jake, I requested, "Please contact the Lightyears. Tell them we are alive, and that we will be back as soon as we can. Then could you call Zariah and Graham and tell them we are fine? I am so glad that you are okay. You are my best friend. I know, you are mine too. I am sorry they scared you, but we are fine for now." We removed the tracking devices under the tattoos they gave us while in captivity. "We need to wrap this up quickly because these people are set on killing you." I shook my head. "It is going to take as long as it takes. You know that. We are not going to back down. The fact they are trying to convince people we are dead is a telltale sign they are up to something, and do not want people coming to find us. Let me talk to the rest of the group and see what we can do to speed this along." Once she disconnected the call, Jake walked over to me. "Everything is all right. Graham said that they have people investigating the scene right now and that they have had people from Kilo 8 try to interfere with the investigation. That is because the people on Kilo 8 know we are not in that spacecraft, and that if the Freedom Alliance investigates, they will discover that our DNA is not present in the vehicle." I stood and paced in front of the bed. I have no idea who knows we are here, but someone knows. We have to be careful, but the fact that they are trying to convince people we are dead indicates that they do not want people to come look for us, or maybe they do not want people to find out what they are hiding. I don't know why, but I feel like I have to find the lab I used to work out of. You think whatever they are hiding might be in there. That or maybe the truth of how this disease started is in that lab. The lab was extremely guarded, and they had to know who was coming in and out at all times. I feel like whatever we need to solve that case is in that lab. It's like there is a memory in my mind that I cannot bring into focus. He nodded his head and decided, "Okay." I pulled up the center of the east hemisphere of Kilo 8 on my Quan pad. I showed it to Jake. "So, if I remember correctly, and it has been a while, but I believe the laboratory is in the university building over here. It is a hidden laboratory, like the one I had built into the Lightyears." "You had a hidden laboratory built into the Lightyears? Where and for what reason?" "It is in my office, and so that I could work on IIB cases. I specialize in medical cases like this one, so it stands to reason I would need a lab. I put it in my office, so I could work on my cases, but still could hear if people were in my office or the waiting area." "I can see that. Do you remember where the hidden laboratory is at the university?" "Yeah, I believe it is top floor, in the back, through the storage rooms." "Then let's go. We have to figure out how we are going to get in because we are not going to be able to just waltz in. That place is highly guarded, but if any of us has a contact at the university, they could let us in. Let's consult all our contacts because if we can find someone to let us in, it is going to eliminate one of our worries." I put out a message to all of our contacts. I watched Jake do the same. "What do we do if we cannot find a contact to let us in?" "Forge documents to get us in? We would need a badge chip, and information that proves we are members of the university or at least authorized guests. I think that if we hack into the system, we could add ourselves to the authorized guest list, but we would still need authorized badge chips, unless we follow one of the vendors in or the cleaning crew." "That is smart. Let's make that our plan B. If no one knows a person at the university, we will do that." "What do we do once we are in?" "First, we go at night. The cleaning crew is there at night with no consistent members of the crew, and that is when there are less people there to question us. Then we go up to the top floor using the travel tram. Are you going to remember where the hidden laboratory is once we get up there? Probably. If all else fails, we move our hands along the walls. It is a wall where you have to solve a puzzle to get into it. I am sure they have changed the puzzle by now. I would suspect so. What kind of puzzle? It was usually trivia questions or a logic test. That should be fun. I heard the sarcasm in Jake's voice. It will be fine. Once we get there, the hard part is going to be over. We need to get in that lab though. I need to know why I feel like that is where we need to be. My Quan pad chimed. I looked down at the message. Okay, our contact at the university finally messaged me. He wants us to meet him at the university, and he is going to let us in. Do you think we can trust him? I don't know. He is one of Zebby's contacts. I have never known her to keep unreliable contacts, but you never know. Some people don't always turn out to be as they present themselves. We will be careful. I have never known her to keep them either, but there is always a first time. How long has she known this person? Not long. 10, 15 years. He has never wronged her, but with a contact ship that knew, who knows? I know you are being sarcastic, but in this industry, you never know. Like I said, we will be careful. We will have our pieces. We will have jewelry that turns into pieces. We will turn on our homing devices. I am not sure what else you want us to do. I don't either, but I need us to be on alert to danger. Oh, I am sorry. Did I just graduate from the training program? Is this my first assignment? I know what to do. I know how to do my job. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it like that. It's just I don't want to lose you. I just got you back. I get that, but I have enough people who think that I cannot do my jobs. I don't need you to be one of them. You have to be in my corner no matter what. You may think I am wrong. You can call me on it, but if you are going to be involved with me, I need to know you have my back no matter what. I do have your back no matter what. Then let's go. It is going to take us until our meeting time to get to the university. It will be dark in an hour, and I want to be there in plenty of time to stake out our surroundings. He nodded as we put our disguises back on and headed toward the university. Once there, we walked around the outside of the university campus, looking for anything suspicious. It looked like a typical campus with young people studying in groups. Teachers taught classes outside among the trees and shrubbery. As the darkness started to fall, I heard someone call our names, the ones we named ourselves while in disguise. I looked around and found the heavy-set man with gray hair and black-rimmed glasses. As we approached, he said the code word we agreed upon. He led us into the university to the travel tram that took us up 45 floors to the top. We exited the travel tram, then moved to the back of the large room with desks and chairs. As I approached the back, I ran my hand along the walls until I was swallowed into one. A few seconds later, Jake and the contact followed suit.
If you would like to learn more about Anagail or to purchase her fiction and nonfiction books, go to AnagailLines.com. That is ANAGAILLYNES.com. Right now you can buy 3 ebooks and get the 4th one free. There you can sign up for the newsletter to keep up to date on what is happening in the world of the Anagail Lines podcast, where she inspires people to take control of their lives, and her science fiction podcast, the Space-Tastic Mysteries podcast. To follow her on social media, it is Anagail Lines on Twitter, Lady Anagail on TikTok, Anagail Lines Artist on Instagram, at the Anagail Lines podcast on YouTube. You can join the Facebook page at Author Anagail. Thank you for listening and thank you for being you.